a slightly different video.
I feel like every video I've been doing recently, I'm saying it's a slightly different video, even though it's obviously the same videos I'm doing on my channel, because if not, I would have to keep saying it. But anyway.
So today's video is actually going to be a review of an essay. This is going to completely mess up the lighting of this video, so I apologise for that in advance. Maybe I'll try and not hold it up too much. So this essay is How to Mark a Book by Mortimer J. Adler. This was recommended by Naya from Naya Reads and Smiles over on her channel in a video she did like ages ago. But I've seen that video a few times because it always pops up in my feed, and every time I watch it I'm like, oh, I'm going to read that essay, and I never got around to it. But yesterday I just thought, nah, bugger it, I'm going to print this off, I'm going to read through it. As you can see, I've highlighted it and annotated it, and I did think it would be very, you know, thought-provoking because Naya had said it was, but this is a very good essay. I really liked it. I made my mum read it. She wasn't as interested, but she's not a huge reader like I am, so I think it makes sense. But anyway, so the idea of this essay is to persuade you to write in your books, basically, to dog-ear them, to highlight them, to write notes in them, to just like defile your books, basically. And obviously writing in your books and marking in them is like a huge no-no for most people here on BookTube. It's seen as like a BookTube sin, or just any like a reader sin, to write in your books. It's something you shouldn't do, you know. And I can remember there's one book that I did highlight, and that was
oh god, what's it called? What's that book I don't like? I can't think what the book is called. It's a really popular book. It's the Princess Kelsey in it, and she becomes queen, and there's loads of nothing happens. I don't know.
I've highlighted one book in my lifetime that I'm aware of, other than textbooks and stuff, you know, actual books that I've read. And that was because I was reading it for a review, and to be honest, I didn't really like that book. Part of me thinks like I wasn't enjoying it, so why I would decide to write in it so I can't then donate it or sell it is beyond me. But yeah, to be honest, the books I would choose to highlight in and write in are books that I would not be able to give away. So for example, my Song of Ice and Fire series, I have all of the books now, and I mean all of them are extremely heavily tabbed. I've discussed it in previous videos, I've mentioned it over on my blog, like they're heavily tabbed, these books. But the spines are completely trashed because I take them everywhere with me when I read them. And obviously they're big books, they're heavy, the spines do crack almost instantly. The pages are scuffed, they're like, the pages are folded, they're really, I trash the books, you know, just because I read them and I love them, and I take, you know, good care of them in the sense of like, I take them everywhere with me, and they're a big deal to me. But like, I wouldn't necessarily get rid of those books because A, they're kind of damaged, so it's not like I could sell them on. B, I have no plans to donate them because I want to keep them. I like that series. So those are the kind of books that I would be likely to highlight in because I'm planning to keep them forever. They're my own personal, that was my dog. They're my own personal copies that mean a lot to me, that I've read, really annotated and stuff. So those are the kind of books that I would tend to want to highlight. But I like a lot of other people, the idea of actually writing in a book just like makes me cringe, you know. I don't want to do it. Once I read this, it did really make me think, and there's actually a paragraph in here, and it's not the one that Naya's mentioned. I will leave a link to her video down below because it's a really good video, and I definitely recommend watching it if you are someone that wants to write in your books but you can't get over that niggling little thought in the back of your head that's telling you that you should not write in books. It's not the same paragraph that she mentioned, but that was a really good one too. But it basically just says, if your respect for magnificent binding or typography gets in the way, buy yourself a cheap edition and pay your respects to the author. The whole point of writing in the books is for the author. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if you put this huge importance on the book as a physical object, like yes, it's a physical thing, someone put effort into making that, but at the same time it's the author's effort that means the most, and their words and their writing that you should be concentrating most on. So by actually writing in the book, annotating, highlighting, you are respecting the author and their work. Also, I kind of see it as in a way as like respecting the fact that like a lot of people quite rightly are pointing out now that it's bad of us booktubers to have so many physical books because it's wasting trees. This is a big thing that people have been saying.
Look at this down there.
You know, these booktubers that have thousands and thousands of books, or at least, you know, hundreds of books in their room, it's a waste of trees because we have so many sheets of paper that are just there to be read and then put on a shelf, right? The point of this is you could recycle them, as in like you could give them to somebody else as a gift, you could donate them to a charity shop, you could donate them to a used bookstore, you could sell them on, anything like this. As long as they're reused, that's a good thing. But also my point is that if that tree has been sacrificed, or however you want to think of it, if that tree has been used and therefore wasted in some people's eyes because it's only going to get read by you if you're planning to keep it, why not make that book your own? You know, like if you plan to keep it, like I said with my example of Song of Ice and Fire series, those books I'm planning to keep forever. Do you know what I mean? I don't plan on getting rid of them because they're one of my favourite series of all time. So putting my own thoughts and stuff into those books would be pretty important to me. I like the idea of having them on my private thoughts, exactly what I thought about the book, and keeping everything that I thought while I was reading it as a kind of like continuous ongoing notes in this book. So if I ever reread them, I can go through and see exactly what I was thinking at that moment in time. And I think that's such a cool idea, that it's like a living journal, I suppose, that like I said, when you reread them, you can see how you reacted, what you thought, you know, if the characters annoyed you, if there was a quote that really meant something to you, if there was a scene that just blew your mind. Everything in there is written down and highlighted, and it just makes it so much more personal, and it really does make the book your own. I just think that's really interesting. Like, this essay is absolutely incredible. I will definitely, like I said, try and link it down below, so if you want to read it, definitely you should. It is really, really cool, and I'm really glad that I finally read it because it was so interesting. But yeah, it's definitely changed my outlook, and I am planning on annotating and highlighting a few books in the future. Like I said, I've done it with one book before, and I can remember my mum watching me highlight it, and she was like,
"What are you doing? That's your book."
Because usually I'm so weirdly protective of my books, you know, I don't want anyone to touch them, I don't want them to get dirty, I want them to be perfect. And then once I read that essay, I was like, they're not meant to be perfect, you know, they're meant to be read, they're meant to be destroyed through love. Do you know what I mean? You're meant to enjoy them. And I've had people tell me before, you know, like, why would you want your book to be absolutely perfect? That makes it's not been enjoyed enough. Do you know what I mean? It's not been read. And like, yeah, totally. If you're someone that is really, really passionate about keeping their books looking perfect, then go for it. That's what you want to do it. But if you're someone that does want to write in your books, highlight your books, annotate your books, but you don't feel like you should, just throw that idea out the window. If you want to write in your books, go for it. That's a good idea. It helps you memorize everything that you've read. It makes you remember things. It makes you question the author. It makes you think more about what you're reading than just passively reading it. It's really important to write down, even if you write down in a notebook, which is what I've been doing previously. Even if you write down your thoughts in a notebook, that's better than nothing. But it's really, really important, and I think it'd be such a cool idea if more people came around to this way of thinking and didn't see their books as this like precious thing that should never be even slightly defiled, you know, like, books are books. The story is the most important thing at the end of the day.
I don't even know what this video is at this point. It's just total mess. Like, I've just been rambling. I forgot everything I was meant to be saying, so who knows what's going to happen with this video. But
I hope you guys found it interesting anyway. Like I said, I will try and leave the link to the essay down in the description box so you can check it out. I'll also try and leave the original video that Naya did about this essay and things in the description as well, because those videos are really, really good and you should definitely watch them. So yeah, thank you to Naya for sharing this essay. I really appreciate it because it's definitely changed my outlook on this type of thing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and you will see me in the next one. Bye guys!